Dun, 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 can't touch it. Dun, 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 can't touch this. Can't touch what? Can't touch who? Well, it depends. If you're showing pictures in the U.S. Senate of the president's son, you might say can't touch that.
Oh.
Or if you're talking about lifelong appointments to the office of the president of the United States, can't touch that. There are constitutional rules to follow. Rules are meant to be broken. If you're the Republican Party, the party of law and order, what law? What order? Whole bunch of questions. Okay,
You're
Jim.
reminding me of Dylan, his song. That's what he does in his song. He answers himself, you know.
Rhetorical questions.
Your
It's
brothers
already
are
been
coming, Mr. President. Brothers? What brothers? All right, who are you, Bob, at this particular line? Are you the president, or are you the commentator, or are you the enemies of the president?
Would you have liked to have been part of the stand-up radio of the 1920s and 30s, you know, with the big microphone in the front, and you had people gathered, and they're doing dramas or comedy shows, and it's all done in front of one
I
mic?
would screw that up so bad.
It would be on live radio, broadcast live. There was no Memorex.
Well, maybe we should try it sometime in one of our shows. You give
We
me a
do
script.
this all the time.
Yeah, you give me a script. Just make sure that it's 60
60-point font.
Yeah. Because I have enough time reading, hard enough time reading as it is.
Well, congratulations on your eye appointment. That means
Yes, I got
one
an eye
less
appointment.
worry.
I'm going to have an operation, which is probably going to cost thousands of dollars, but
Well,
I'll be
it
able
comes,
to see.
It comes in the public OHIP paid for public coffer
I
level.
don't think it does.
I think you'll be surprised at what they offer you.
Yes, I think they're going to offer
Keep us
me.
informed. Keep us up to date.
We can have this for on the Ontario
Health insurance.
health insurance dime. We found these eyes in a transit, but they look like they're pretty good.
Oh my God.
And
That is
and they
morbid.
may not match because there's two different people, but one's
That
green,
sounds
one's
like a
blue.
Black Mirror episode.
yeah.
You're getting very twisted in your sense
Or
of-
you can spend the $2,000 per eye and get a fake lens.
How much money do you have?
to get this done?
No, that's a rhetorical
yeah.
question. You don't have to answer it.
Well, they do that when you die. That's what drives me nuts.
How much money do you have?
How much insurance did he have? And it's funny
Well,
because
this casket comes in.
yeah, well, once they find out what you got to spend,
Yep.
$12,000, you'll be amazed how that comes down, and that'll be $11,948.93 dollars, and a tip would be nice. Okay, take all. Yeah, that's how they
Take
do
every
it.
penny.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I don't
gee.
like it. I understand they got to make money, but this is how it all works.
Okay, let's continue on this morbid conversation. We started somewhere, but we may get back to it. But let's go on this morbid pine box gallows thing that you're doing right now and say, do you have a preference for burial, service of celebration, or a full funeral, or are we just going to light your body and torch it with gasoline and have a fire?
No, I know someone who's just given their body to science.
Yeah.
And that you
Okay.
don't have to worry
now
about nothing.
that's what I'm
Totally-
talking about.
Totally free. And
Have you signed your driver's license part? Where it's,
Well, I said I know somebody about that.
it's not you then.
That's not me. I want to be buried.
Okay.
I just that's what I would like, but I'll be dead. So if everybody changes my mind, that's
Bury
fine.
my heart at Wounded
I would like
Knee.
a service. You don't have to go to the graveyard and watch them throw me in the ground. But I like a service, and yes, my faith will come out at that service, and that'll be my wishes.
Okay, question. Why those particular decisions?
I'm not sure.
That's a very, I'm going to say, archaic, meaning traditional way of looking at
very traditional
life
kind of
and
person.
death.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have a problem with cemeteries overflowing with the dead?
No.
A better use of land?
No.
No?
I don't have a problem
Do
with
you
that.
think your family wants to have a place to go visit?
No.
So
I
it's
wouldn't.
not about your family, it's about you.
It's about me. Yes, that's the thing.
Even
I
in
want.
death, Jim, it's
Yeah,
about you.
Just about me.
Oh, gee.
That's why I said you don't have to go and see where they're putting me, but I wouldn't mind. I would like to be around to make those decisions so that my family doesn't have to.
Do you have these decisions in
Not
writing
really
somewhere
written down.
now?
If they burn me, they burn me. If they give me the science, they give me the science. Oh, I'll come back. I'm okay. But that's what I would like. I'd like a service, a religious service, and I'd like to be in a casket. You don't have to look at it. And Yeah, bury me. I'll pay for the plot. The graveyard's already there. You can't disturb it anyways. So I'll go there.
Have you got a plot?
No, not yet.
Neither do I. My preference is cremation. I don't care what happens to my body. Although I do care. I would like to donate my body to science, first of all, so I have signed that disclaimer on my license.
Well, if you do that, it's no cost to anybody.
Then what they do with the body after they've harvested or probed or poked or analyzed, dissected.
They burn it and throw it out.
Yeah, I had an uncle, the one who lived to be over 100, because there aren't a lot of people who pass away at that stage in life. His body was of interest.
Oh.
So I would like to be there too. Yes, if someone can learn something from examining this body, the shell, then fine. Learn.
Okay.
Because that, to me, is what science and humanity is all about. Paying it forward. The ultimate, pay it forward.
All right.
Probe to your heart's content.
Yeah, I'm more selfish.
You're more selfish. Okay, no, I don't know about selfish. It's just
No, I don't think
traditional.
it's selfish.
Traditional.
Mine's more traditional. I like the idea. I believe in the resurrection and everything else, but I do believe that those lost at sea and eaten by animals and those who were burned up, and they're all going to be resurrected as well. So I think that's part of the whole casket thing, and I may change my mind on that. The religious service I want for sure, because quite frankly, friends, if you're
So
listening,
you'd want to service in the church.
in the church, and I want the gospel to be preached in the church, and the hope that I have because of my faith. That's a must for me, and I think my family.
So
will
you would prefer that as opposed to, or maybe that's included in the idea of, and I'll use these words, celebration of life. Your
Yeah.
life is predominantly infused with Christianity and faith.
Yeah, and that's
what your
for me.
service would be.
Yeah, and I mean, if y'all want to go gather at somebody's house after and get drunk, go ahead, fine. But
There'd be a lot of toasting to your
yeah,
passing.
I know the service would
No, that
be
sounded
because
wrong.
everybody will end up having sandwiches and pickles and stuff in the basement of wherever church it is that if churches are still allowed to be standing by the time I die, but that's what I want, and it's traditional, mostly because I think in my death I would like people to know the hope I have in Christ. My last kick at the can.
Your last opportunity to pay that forward.
Yeah, that's my paying for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what about you?
Question.
Like a celebration of life?
Yeah, celebration of life, and I would like to write it.
Oh,
So I've actually written my funeral.
oh, nice.
And I did wrestle, because when you're living through this life, there are people who grieve you, and you carry that through your life. And if it's a deep grief, then it can stick with you. Do you carry that right to the grave? Or the things that you carry with you right to the end that you didn't resolve?
Well, I think, we're a wonderfully created being. That's what I like to think. And in this brain of ours is just like this supercomputer, which really doesn't dump anything. Now, you can forgive and everything, but it's in there. So that's why a lot of people, like my dad, when my dad was fighting for his last days, he would hallucinate under morphine and that, and he'd go back to the war.
Yeah.
And he's ordering men around in battle. And so I think, when we get unconscious like that or on our last breath, we don't know what the thoughts are going to be coming out.
No.
I just
But
hope.
you do have some examples from your own experience with your father and his passing that he reverted back to a time of particular trauma.
Yeah.
The battle of the
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, very interesting. Yeah, I would like to write my own funeral, and I think the notion is that we should live our lives the way we want to be remembered. And if we don't, if we don't live a life of a scoundrel, what do you want your epitaph to read? So it
Well, it's
causes you
like
to
the
think.
people that put those things in the newspaper.
Yes.
He was a bastard.
Yep.
Hated the old man.
Yep.
That kind of thing, which is some sort of a warped revenge. The guy's
Yes.
gone. Like
Yep. It
that's
is-
why I don't like the idea of necessarily going visiting graves and stuff.
Right.
If they're there, it's pure hell. Monuments at the side of highways. If your child's there, it's pure hell. They're not there. They've passed on. They've gone. And but I mean, people get their comfort the way they. I don't object to it. I just find a little bit of a sadness of this constantly revisiting the past of the person's
So
passing.
when we use the word celebration of life, that's to overcome that.
Yeah, that's a
negative
different that's a
thing.
different thing. And I would be assuming when I die, Terry, that it would be a celebration of life. It's not morbid just because I want them to know the hope I have for the future,
Mm-hmm.
of a resurrection and all that. That's after that, party and
Now
laugh,
you
laugh about it.
You realize that you will not be in control of those things when it comes time.
Oh no, that's
to,
why I said I hope I get to plan it ahead of time.
Well, you may get to plan it, but what actually gets
Said is a different-
executed
yeah.
is
Well,
another thing.
Yeah, I mean, if I would talk to the pastor and say this is exactly what I want you.
If the pastor's still there.
But yeah, and if that's all, there's a lot of ifs.
Yeah.
But I would say to him also, right away before you start spewing off your mouth, because people hate pastors that do that, you tell them this is Jim's wishes.
Yep.
What I'm now about to say is what Jim asked me to say.
Right.
Yeah.
I-
And then go
you
from
can
there. I might even do a video.
Ooh, a living.
Hey guys, how
A
you
living
doing?
will.
I'm good.
I think you could probably pull that one off.
Yeah. I'd be humorous because I have a sense of humor.
Well, I thought of that as well. I thought, gee, we do all this recording stuff. Why not record your last will and testament as an MP3 file? And somebody forget it and burn it to a thumb drive, and where'd you put it? I don't know. I lost it. Okay.
I only got $12.95 left, and it's going to the dog.
There you go. Okay. This is a whole morbid thing. I don't know how we got onto it. We started off with...
I dragged you there.
You
I'm
did.
good at that.
Drag me into the grave
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you. No, thank you. I don't want to. I'll go protesting,
I don't know how we
kicking and
got here
screaming.
either, but I'd like to know what you're going to name this one. Jim's dying.
Pine Box Jim
Pine Box Jim, like it. I like it.
instead of Soapbox
And
Joe.
why is it pine? Why does it have to be pine?
Common wood available everywhere.
Oh,
cheap wood.
I want mine cedar.
Oh, there you go.
I don't want any moths in my
Hey,
coffin.
no moths for Jim. Ain't no flies on us. Bye bye for now.
No flies on us.